10 electric sports cars of 2023. Number 1. Porsche Taycan. If the Porsche 911 is like a massive Marshall guitar amplifier, the new Taycan is more like a modern Bluetooth speaker. It does a similar job, but in a much more high-tech way that's easier to live with. Its curvy bonnet, subtle air intakes, and sleek sloping roofline look like a cross between the 911 and the Panamera, while the laser-like full-width brake light and optional uber aerodynamic alloy wheels give the Taycan its own futuristic flavor. This theme continues inside, where the Porsche Taycan combines the 911's driver-focused cabin layout with more tech than you can shake a memory stick at. In addition to the widescreen digital driver's display, which sits in place of Porsche's trademark analog rev counter, there's a central infotainment screen and a separate touchscreen for the car's heating and ventilation controls. Number 2. Kia EV6. The Kia EV6 is an electric SUV that's a bit like Tony Stark from the Iron Man franchise. Like him, it's stylish and glamorous, but also extremely clever. If you want to make a statement, the EV6 is a good way to do it. Its distinctive face, wide haunches, and sloping roof give it presence, while the curved light around the rear end makes it look a lot like an Aston Martin BDS. Unlike the Aston, though, the Kia starts from just over $44,000. The interior isn't quite as dramatic to sit in as the exterior is to look at, but it is modern and neatly designed. Dual 12.3-inch screens dominate the dashboard, which look posh but are also pretty easy to operate. The dash itself also has nice textures and ambient lighting, while the neat center console design makes this look and feel more interesting than the interior of a Voit 4. Number 3. Tesla Model 3. Remember in the early mid-2000s, when phone handsets were getting ever smaller and discreet, until the chunky iPhone came along in 2007 to completely turn the industry on its head? Well, that's sort of what the Tesla Model 3 has achieved with the car. Not only has Elon Musk's brainchild shown the world that long-range electric cars are today and not just the future, but in the process, it also paved the way for alternatives such as the Volkswagen i3, Ford Mustang Mach-E, and Kia EV6. Opt for the range-topping performance version, and your Model 3 gets lowered suspension, a subtle carbon fiber boot spoiler, and jazzily named Uber 20-inch alloy wheels to make the car look lower, meaner, and much sportier. Number 4. Audi e-tron GT. The Audi e-tron GT is an electric four-door coupe with powerful motors and seats for 5 people. As the future of Audi's race models, the e-tron GT makes cars like Sirius and Stressman feel like Morse code machines at a SpaceX Starlink launch. Like its sister car, the Porsche Taycan, the new RIS e-tron GT uses 2 electric motors, one to drive the front wheels and a second to drive the rears. This combination produces 598 hop as standard, but a 2-second overboost function ups this to 646 when you launch the car. As a result, we blasted the car from 0-60 in just 3.0 seconds. Perhaps a more relevant acceleration time is the one from 37 temp, which you tend to use when overtaking or accelerating down a slip road. Number 5. BMW i4. The BMW i4 is like a 4 Series from a decade in the future. It shares a very similar outline, but uses all-electric power and has a slightly bolder design, as well as having a more advanced interior. It certainly won't fade into the background, as BMW has fitted the huge kidney grille from the 4 Series Grand Coupe that the i4 is based on. In the cabin, the i4 has a plush finish to match other BMW models. It definitely feels more upmarket in here than a Tesla Model 3, and can match a Polestar 2. Entry-level models come with cloth seat trim as standard, but leather is also on offer for those wanting a high-end feel. Regardless, it's a well-built and neatly designed cabin. Number 6. Ford Mustang Mach-E. The Mustang Mach-E is an exciting blend of past, present and future. It mixes a distinguished name from the 1960s with an SUV body that is very much of the moment, and on-trend, fully electric power. So you get an electric SUV with Mustang bits like the long bonnet and muscular haunches, have bits like the blanked-off grille, and a tall, upright body. The all-new electric car is an alternative to SUVs such as the Tesla Model Y, BMW X-Drive, Kia EV6, Audi Q-tron and Skoda Enyaq, thanks to a completely flat floor in the second row and plenty of headroom. The Mustang Mach-E has enough passenger space for 5 adults to sit comfortably enough over short distances. There are lots of storage cubbies for various bits and bobs, and to boots as well, a small one up front and a full-size one at the back. Number 7. Mini Electric. Just like the original Mini changed the way people thought about small cars back in the 60s, the Mini Electric could change the way you think about electric cars today. In size and shape, it's the same as any other 3-door Mini hatchback. Plus, it has the look and badging of the sporty Cooper S model. But its 32.6 kWh battery and electric motor help it travel up to 145 miles between charges. That's a little further than a Honda, but well short of the cheaper Peugeot 208 or Renault Zoe. If you are not sure about EVs, Mini has tried to keep its design as normal as possible. Number 8. Jaguar I-Pace. As an electric 5-seat SUV, the Jaguar I-Pace has a tricky brief to fill. After all, some people like their Jaguars to be smooth, quiet limousines, whereas others want their Jag to be rapid, with the growl of a large performance engine, preferably V8. The good news is that the I-Pace is a bit like a big cat that's lost its voice. It'll still outrun sports cars and turn heads, but it does it without growling in terms of straight line speed or going around corners. Number 9. Cupra Born. The Cupra Born is an electric family hatchback that promises a bit of a sporting edge. With a maximum range of up to 335 miles, it'll give the likes of the Tesla Model 3 something to worry about. But in reality, it's more likely an alternative to the Hyundai Ioniq 5, the Kia Niro EV, and the Volkswagen i3. In fact, this Spanish EV is closely related to the Volkswagen. Not only are they all but identical under the skin, they look remarkably similar too. In a way, you could think of the two cars as being siblings. Number 10. Skoda Enyaq VRS. Skoda has given its Enyaq the Verse treatment in an attempt to turn its big electric model into a more sporting EV. It's a bit like that mate that's funny down the pub but can't win over the room at an open mic comedy night. The regular Enica puts a smile on your face, thanks to its sensible price and roomy cabin. The high-performance Verse tries too hard to turn that smile into a belly laugh, and the simple appeal of the Enica is diluted. It's not that it isn't quick. With 299 up, it goes from 0-6 to imp in 6.3 seconds. But the Enica leaves the driver oddly detached from the experience. Škoda has stiffened the suspension of the Verse to make the Enica quicker round corners as well as down the straights. Like, subscribe, share.